Hey guys, so I've been doing an exercise of remembering, reminiscing, and I realized that there's something that I haven't talked about, which is actually very, very important, and something that I wish I'd known before. That is the telltale signs that were sort of a prelude to my MS. The signs that I had neurological damage taking place at various intervals, but it was definitely there. So I'm going to walk you through these symptoms and make a list of them for you to keep track of them, so that if you're in doubt that you might have MS, you may want to look at this video and see if any of these symptoms fit with something that you might be experiencing right now and that you fear may be multiple sclerosis. So, going all the way back many years ago, back when I was a youngster living in London from the age of 17 to 20, I was living the party life in London, and it goes without saying that I was living a pretty unhealthy life. So by the time my stay in London ended, I had to go to the doctor because I couldn't walk more than 100 meters before getting exhausted and having to sit down. So I went to get tests done at a doctor's clinic. It turned out that I had very low vitamin levels and I had a definite imbalance, which of course may have been just because of the unhealthy lifestyle that I was leading. But it doesn't change the fact that it may have been a prelude of my MS. Considering the fact that after this episode of fatigue, I felt like I never really became myself again. I found myself getting more tired, and also, especially, I found myself developing weird symptoms. So that's why I consider that my first MS symptom, because after that came many more things that one after the other I disregarded. After that, I had many more symptoms, and as I remember, the first one that I had was that I was sitting in class and that I was reading from the textbook. And as I read, I would feel my face starting to tingle. And I thought that that was just me getting nervous because I used to be a very, very shy boy, very insecure. And if I had to read out loud, I would get insecure and I would get nervous. So I would get tingling all over my face. And I disregarded this completely, just thinking that it was because of nerves. After that came a symptom that I had completely forgotten, but that it was an eye doctor that reminded me of it, that they had it in their records, that I showed up at their clinic saying that I had a stain in my vision. And as he mentioned that, I remember actually that there was a time of my life that I was walking around seeing a dark circle in the middle of my field of vision. Again, I just discarded this as something weird. And being around 22, you're still a little bit in that age, at least I was, where you're a bit insecure of your body, sort of teenage-like. You're embarrassed about things your body goes through, and I just didn't want to talk too much about it. So I just discarded it, and it went away by itself. Then I had an episode of getting, again, but completely out of context, getting this tingling all over my face. So I went to the doctor made me puff out my cheeks, made me smile, and he was like, "You're fine, go home." And then I had another sign, which I mentioned in my previous video, of not being able to speak a language. So I remember distinctly this period of my life that I was embarrassed to meet with friends because I felt like I wasn't able to speak. I don't know if it came back, but I ended up just forgetting about it and never really doing anything about it. Then I had another symptom as well. I remember that all of a sudden I found myself lying in bed trying to fall asleep, but I couldn't because I had this constant urge to blink, even with my eyes closed. So much so that it prevented me from falling asleep. And if I woke up during the middle of the night, I would have this, what do you want to call it, this attack of blinking again. But I didn't take it very seriously. And then came 2011. At the time I was, 24, 25? In case any of you are wondering, at this day and age, I'm 33. So that was about 8 years ago. that I had this thing that I went out for runs, and all of a sudden my foot started sagging as I ran. Little by little, I noticed that the symptom of the foot sagging started to happen when I walked as well. And all of a sudden I had to stop in the middle of the street because I was unable to walk anymore. Disregarded it because, well, what can I say? I was an irresponsible young man. And had I known that such a thing as MS could exist, I think I would have taken it more seriously. Unfortunately, it wasn't so. I knew that it existed, but I didn't know what it was. I thought that it was just a pinched nerve. People talk about these pinched nerves all the time. And, well, to this day, I'm not really sure what a pinched nerve is, but I definitely know what multiple sclerosis is. So with this video, I think I've gone around all of my prelude symptoms. And all these symptoms, I consider them prelude symptoms, pre-MS symptoms, because they're pre the day that I got diagnosed. So all this to say, guys, that if any of these symptoms, no matter how mild these symptoms are, do not discard them. And if your doctor discards them for you, please have the confidence to ask for further checks. I didn't at the time. As I said, I was too young. And had this happened today, I would push to get more checks made on me. So I encourage you, all of you, going through symptoms, you may be looking at this video tentatively, with a little bit of fear, with a little bit of shyness, to see if this applies to you. If you feel like any of this applies to you, go back to the doctor, go get those extra checks, and see if you can get a proper diagnosis. Even just to discard that it's MS. Take care, everyone. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.